Here I am. Hi, it's me, Zen. There's you guys. I thought we might talk about, some standard things about the dream world and this crazy reality we're all living in, huh? How much of it is malleable? How much of it is really like jumping into a different time space? How much control do we have over our auric field? Meaning, just let's use our boundaries. You can pretty much set up your home. That's part of your energy field the way that you like it. So inside it is how you desire it. And how far does that reality spread? You choose to live in different places, different cities, different locales. But how much of the world as a whole, the universe, the single verse, single verse, many, or one single thing, you'd say verse. Well, that would be verses if it was against something. But out of this, let's see, this matrix, or these matrices, or these realms, these realities, how much of it do we have? Oh, little you, oh, little me, with my terribly inferior mind, right? You say that to yourself. Whatever, maybe your mind is more powerful than you give it credit for. How much can we adjust this giant ship that we're all on, this submarine, this whatever? How much of it? How much can we adjust what we see as okay, like the future? Here's a few things that we know for sure. The future doesn't exist because it's not here yet. Just like the past doesn't exist because it's not here anymore. That we can agree on. There's nothing you can do to provide me with the past. It's an impossibility. It's where it is. It's into the river, the abyss of nothingness. There's nothing that you can do to present me with the future. It's now forever. But there is obviously a play out of this reality that it seems to work in some sort of linear fashion towards something, somewhere, somehow. I don't know what direction, where things are going, or how. But to what degree do our thoughts and minds and things affect the current way say the politics of the world, the way water is used, the way food is consumed or grown, or you can start your own garden, sure, but on a large scale, is that how much can that really affect your community, your state, your city, your how much, to what degree, and if we can. Um, if we can adjust it to as a big of a degree as I believe, which is akin to this. Let me explain. If I can go into a dream world, I've jumped a timeline. If I can go into a dream world and it's this solid and I'm living in that reality, it's no different than this. Not to me. And maybe to you guys because you've never lived in a what you'd call an astral realm or a different reality, different space. It's as solid as this. It's the same thing as this is. But maybe you have extra special things that you can do. Maybe you can fly. Maybe things are brighter. Who knows? Maybe telekinesis is real there. But it is just as real. So if I can go into those realities and adjust what's going on there, shouldn't I have somewhat control over what's going on in this thing, in this play out of this dense realm to some degree? And if not, wouldn't I just jump into one of those places where that is the vibe that I'm at? That's what everybody talks about. You gotta vibe with your tribe, man. You gotta step up your frequencies. Ugh. Is that do we just line up and we're always time jumping and go into one of those little rivers, those little offshoots that go into the timeline where we don't have say idiot politicians ruining the economy and ruining the relationships and poisoning us and planning for more and more fear, terror, destruction. Yeah. Do we dip into that timeline? Because listen to these, it's like listening to these fools speak. I get it, and you get it, that they're full of nonsense. They're full of garbage. We all know clearly this last thing that they did that took a couple of years. Most people that got on board with being stabbed into their person, they're not going to get it. But we still have to deal with them. And it's like, but somehow we're the problem, even though they're the ones that are continually sick, continually pushing the poison, continually believing the liars and pushing the narrative. How do we navigate that? Or do we just vibe higher, dude? I wonder. Because I mean, I'm not trying to keep going down this path with these people. On next time they think they're gonna shut down all the shops in the cities and all this, like how goofy. how much control do these little-minded people want, and for what? Just the purpose of control, or are they computer systems operating like in the Matrix, where you can't see it, but on a spiritual level they're succubusing your energy? Because what's the point? Are they immortal computer systems? Are they immortal vampiric systems? Are they only immortal in the sense that until we stop supplying them with our energies that then disappear? What's up, Matthew? What's up, Carson? And I ask this just because it's tiring. You jump onto the YouTubers and the Instagram every now and then, and you see this whatever this clone creature thing, the guy that's supposedly running a corporation, who's already talking about the next planned event of, like they're telling you, he straight said it more than once, straight to the American public, just said it, and you could present that to anyone that has been stabbed. And they'd be like, well, of course it will happen again because once that, there's a Wuhan and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh. And then you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that whole nother. You got to have more of that? I thought it'd be less of that. I thought the world was getting better. I thought you'd be healthier wearing all your masks and getting all your stabbies and your boosters. Getting your little booster seat, little guy. Get your little booster wounds. So, what as good, upstanding beacons of light and hope and health and all the good stuff, as people like that, what do we what is our choices here? What is it? Like, it's kind of getting old and crusty, the whole stupidity, the whole narrative. I mean, part of the system, as I've explained before, there's going to be the die-off of robotics, synths, humans, carbon-based creatures. They're trying to get rid of carbon-based creatures, just to let you in on a little secret in case you didn't get that notation. Why do they want to get rid of your carbon footprint? You know you're made of carbon, right? So they're trying to carbon net zero. They're trying to zero that out. That would mean you don't exist. How could you? You're gonna be walking around farting. When they try to get rid of the cows' methane, even though they don't understand that the trees are doing something to cause the. Nope, they just want you to eat plastic. Is that what they want? You gotta start eating plastic and turn everything into plastic to Legoland. All right. It's to me, I just don't get how people don't see this as like a very low budget B movie that people just need to go, nah, you guys can just stop all that. That's not happening. It's just, like, you call people like sleepyheads, or they're not getting it, or like wake up, or how can't you see this? How can't you figure this out? And it's like, literally, you go, am I talking to a bunch of toddlers? Like, it's trying to explain really how an engine in a car works, to a 3-year-old with autism. You know, I'm not even gonna give them the benefit of having autism. Just a 3-year-old with you know, with severe learning disabilities. That's like talking to an average adult these days. They're so they're so hard-headed. You can't teach them anything. They're not trying to learn. They don't want to know. But yet they're going to try to enforce the policies that these idiots tell them to. So how do we function? How do we deal with that? Because I've already explained fully. Going out into an getting a farm and starting a farm, and you think when as they're going through this process of resetting the system, the economy, the destroying cities, they're doing a lot to cause an upheaval, disharmony in the population, which it's already been shown how they're doing it. It's talked about this last video. But as they do that, where do you think everyone's going to go to? They'll end up going to outside of the cityscapes into, you know, there's going to be people that are in the major cities that are under heavy degrees of mind control. Like the really big, the big cities, big cities. They'll be under heavy degrees of mind control, certainly. Whether it's through the networks and the computers and whatever, but there'll be that. But then the people that aren't, they're going to come out to the rural areas. So it's not like that's not necessarily a solution, because then you're going to have all the idiots coming out there. And now all of a sudden, what is this small town turn into? Well, now that's turning into the small little towns. All of a sudden, now we got a Starbucks in the corner there. No more mom and pop shops. I mean, that's what it turns into. What do you think happens? What's up, Matthew Nixon? Cursive. Yeah, it's cursive spelling. Sure, I've done plenty of videos on that stuff. Letters are ladders, and every letter in the alphabet is basically it's a type of a demigod. It's somewhat of a lowercase g god. If the god of this realm is language, which it is one of the primary coding structures, then everything that's done within language, you could code a computer system in a language, and our language is instructing and controlling our inner monologue and the dialogue that goes on out here. The only thing that trumps spell casting and using, I mean, we get to what a pen is and a pentagram. A pen or a pencil is a pentagram. We get all that, but the only thing that trumps all of that in how we produce reality is symbolism and sigils and cymatics, meaning shapes that we use and form in our mind to create image. Image is the foundation of this reality. Image and it's image created through cymatics, which is a form of geometry. It's not mathematics, it's geometry. Geometry is the birthplace of everything that is born out of that into what you see as numbers and 9 numbers and mathematics and all of this. But geometry gives you a relationship of the smaller to the greater to the whole. It's the golden mean, the golden triangle. That kind of geometry creates images and pictures in our head, which those images control the reality. We try to express what we see through the use of the language of God, the tongue, the lung gauge, the lungs of the gauge of your lungs, the capacity, your lung gauge. So we're speaking through the trumpet of God. So we're trying to explain images that we see out here and in here. But it's primary, because that's how we communicate, because we're not working with telekinesis anymore, at least not all of us, and not to any great degree. So we have to do it through spoken word and written word and drawing images. But those images come out as symbols, and those symbols, then how do we explain the symbol? Well, how do I explain what a triangle is? How do I explain what What does an oven do? You have to go through using language to create that. The thing that is in your mind is an image. Burp God, yeah. I'm probably some sort of superhero on another realm, and they're like, yeah, fucking burp God. That's how I create things. I just burp out a sound. I mean, in a sense, in a real sense, that is creating. That's creating an image. It balloon when you speak, it it bubbles around your head. It makes an auric field around you. As you speak, there's a cymatics. It's going. Now, if you look at it on a flat sheet of paper, you can see it as like a star or some sort of shape. Now, if you do that thing and you put it in 360 degrees, that's what you're speaking out when you go through the alphabet. But if you use the vowels, what were vowed to you from El, Ohim, the L's, Dan I L, Mike I L, the angels, the L's are the angles, they're the angels. The angles are angels of light, which are a fraction of the entire spectrum of sound or color or language. So we would take a fraction of that, and one fraction of it would be A, E, and we'd go through this, and so we have what's vowed to us, which we can, that holds space. A, E, I, O, U. That's your vowels. They were vowed to you. And the rest of them, you have to use your teeth or your dentals, D, N, T, L, and S, your dentals, to produce the rest of the sounds. A, E, I, O, U, you don't need any teeth to. That's why babies do it. That's what's vowed to you. You have those sounds. And those sounds create cymatics. They create they create things in front of you. You could do that into water and you'll see it. You could do it through a speaker and put sand on top of it, you'll see it. You could do it into a fire. It'd be hard for you to see because the fire is always in motion. But yeah, we're taking angles of light, like if you have, say we have 360 degrees. I mean, a circle is infinite degrees, not 360. But let's just say 360 degrees, and we divide that by 26. Every single one of those little fractions. So there's 26 times what? 13, I guess. Whatever number we're looking at. Was it 14? What the hell number it would be? 14.5? I don't know. I'm not trying to do math here, but if every 14 degrees would be one of the letters, and so that's the fraction of the light code or the cymatics that we're using, a portion of that to speak something. So if I say chair, I'm taking a piece from here and a piece from here and a piece from here, a C, a ch sound, an R sound, so ch, See, the A and the I were given to you; those are vowed to you, and the other two, those sounds are showing you a piece of reality, a piece of a light code. At least a 3 with odds might comprehend it. Yeah. Chakras could be superpowers. Yeah, I mean, I considering the chakras really line up with organs, your organs are spitting out sounds. That's why they're called organs. And if you're an organ, like in a church, if it's clogged up, it's not going to make the right sound. So if you clean out your organs connected to your shikars, your chi-kars, your chakras, your rays of the chi-kars, you can say it however you want, but it gives the same meaning. Those things, when they're open, they produce more energy. Most people just have blockages in different ones. And they're on it. Like a lot of people have very blocked up. So you got your purple, you got your blue here, right? Your green is your middle, got your red, the base, Roy G. Biv. So most people are really blocked up here. That's why a lot of people can't talk right. Because most of their life they've been told to shut up and sit down. And they sit in funny ways, they block this up. They never yell, they don't scream, they're not, I mean, they scream and yell maybe whenever, but it's hard for them to form coherent sentences because most of the time this is not connected to this. You know what I mean? Their mouth is not connected to their brain, and it's definitely not connected to their heart or their balls. If you connect your balls to your heart, to your brain, to your mouth, then you're somewhere. But most people are missing many parts of that. It's hard for them to connect the dots to make their chakras like pop off and work properly. But yeah, there's definitely extra power, superpower in there. Supercharge those things up. What's up, Centerhead? So speaking of chakras, when we look at them in the simplest way, everybody always has on this whole, they want their pineal gland opened and clean and fixed up, and for years I've been saying don't get obsessed with that, because not only do you would say that's one of your chakras, but that's a gland. You have a lot of glands in your system that need to be cleaned up. You don't really want your third eye and this all open if your base chakra, if your Muladhara, if your, I mean, we'll use whatever, just use the colors. If your base chakra, where you sit, where your feet are, if you don't have balance there, then you don't really want to be seeing out of this. If you don't have a strong constitution, then you don't want to be seeing out your third eye, because it'll fucking geek you out. You won't be able to handle it. You won't like it. You don't want to be walking through the mall, getting mauled, right? You don't want to be walking through there and just your third eye's open. You'll be seeing some wild ass shit. It's like whenever they put on the glasses in that They Live. Like, you don't want to be just seeing that. You know, that'll bug you out. So you need to focus on getting all the other things cleaned up in order first. You know, once you clean out your bowels, you get your root chakra kind of strong. You know what I mean? You've got a good base. Then walk up the system. Then start doing the things. I mean, obviously, always stay cleaning your diet and your brain, and putting more distilled liquids and getting more sunshine, and obviously staring into the sun and getting as much sunshine as I'm sitting in here with my curtains drawn. But you should be getting as much sunshine on the skin and in your oculars, in your eye holes, in your eyeballs. You want sun in there to create neuromelanin, which is basically where you get black matter. All of creation comes out of blackness. It's all black, and then you put light into it. That's the light codes you put into creation. It's all black, but that's the empty space that holds all of reality. The infinite abyss of blackness of nothing. And then you put a spark into it, and there it is. There's the creation, the light within it. But so what you do is you're putting biophotonic energy from the sun into your eyes and onto your skin, creating melanin and neuromelanin, which goes into your brain. It strengthens the brain and the eyes. And now you're putting all of this light in your head so you can spit it out of your eyes. So you start to create reality. You start to then that will beam up and open up your third eye, and you'll see, you can start spitting images out. Yeah, you can change the water for sure. The water's in your body. If you talk nice to yourself, there's water in your body. I can talk nice to this water. I'm gonna talk nice to this water right here. You know? Yeah. Oh, balance is a huge key. When people do the too alkaline thing, you're not balanced. People get too heady. They want to always be on some sort of breathe all day fast and don't eat like, motherfucker. I'm drinking fucking vodka and eating a goddamn cookie that I just baked. That's what I'm doing. Why? I wouldn't suggest anybody else do that, because it's probably not for you. But if once in a while I want to ground myself out by eating a heavy piece of steak and doing, like, of course I will. Because I mean, times that you like, hey, let me drink all this shivambu. Let me drink all my piss. Let me be outside, stare in the sun. Let me not eat anything. You do that for too long, you'll become space cadet. You'll forget. You won't be grounded. You won't have a good grounding position, and you need to eat food and do things to, like, get out of the fucking headiness. So I've known too many people, they get into this fasting thing, they get into all this, healthy this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but you gotta take a little time to. You're in this world. You're not of it. You're in it. You can't just always just go, no, I think I won't eat that. No, that's no good for me. Sooner or later, you keep doing that, you're not going to participate in anything this world has to offer. Then what's the purpose of being here? It's a very simple question. If everything's cancerous, everything's evil, everything's no good, then leave. It's easy. If it's just take the fucking beam, get out of here. Take the tractor beam, get on your high horse and put yourself off into in the astral. Put yourself in the dream world, put yourself in the empty nothingness, and then you're gonna go, what happened to physicality? And you're gonna realize exactly why you came to the world that's physical, because it's to have an experience. Now, certainly, most people are too physical in their reality. Everything is too. I mean, I'm very tactile. I love touchy feely comfort. This is why we have these things. To feel the hot, the cold, to draw, to play with. That's what they're there for. But some people forget that, and they're like, I've got to be on the higher consciousness. I gotta walk the middle path. I gotta be one with my higher self. Yeah, but your body's sitting right here. What are you gonna do? Just do everything to feed your brain and forget that you have feet, and that you can walk around on Earth and enjoy enjoy putting your body into the waters and walking on the grass that's so comfortable. And like people forget. You know what? Yeah, I get it. Your mouth isn't really supposed to be for eating so much, but tell me you don't like to consume. Don't be a consumer. Consume some things. It's wildly different. It's like people that have a very addictive personality, I wouldn't suggest to do a lot of things because they would get stuck in it. Other people, if you don't, like, of course, go participate in these things. Go read Siddhartha. That to me was one of my all-time favorite books. One of the only books I read in an evening, in fact. Herman Hesse, Siddhartha. Story of the Buddha. Simple story. I mean, it's a wonderful read. I'm not giving anything away. It's an old book, and it's pretty simple tale. This guy's like the Buddha. Like he's the thing. He's the top shit. But he doesn't know it, and they're trying to tell like you're the Buddha, and he's becoming this thing, and this I'm gonna be a being of lights, and I'm everything's gonna be good and grand and wonderful. And then one day goes and sits under the Bodhi tree, and comes the realization that I'm supposed to be interacting with this reality. You don't come here not to interact with it. And so, I mean, then the end of the story becomes the ferryman, which I find very interesting. But the point is, there's the physicality, and this realm is here. You walk in two beings at once. You walk in your higher self mental space of some spiritual loftiness and all of the goodness and the brightness, and then you have these feet, and they're on this earth, and it is physical, and it is delicious, and all of the things that are the physical world. It is that. People spend too much time obsessing over how to not be part of the matrix. And I think it's not not to be part of a matrix. I think it's of how do you want to adjust it, control it, and how do you want to participate in it, or a different one. And that's kind of the title of the show, is are we adjusting timelines, or are we adjusting matrices that we're part of? I mean, if I just decide to put if I just dress a little bit different, and I use different language, and I walk into a couple different businesses or rooms, I will immediately have an entire new reality to network and interact with instantaneously. If I walk into a a different coffee shop, if I walk into a fancy pants bar, a rooftop deck, if I walk in there, there's gonna be a whole different stratosphere classification of people with different ideas, different mindsets, different money, different access to things. It would change the matrix that I'm participating in. Now that's on a completely physical scale, but it's also on a spiritual one. It's also on a frequency vibe. It's also on a using language to create that. And would I choose to walk in through that door? Do I go down that path? Do I do that? And would anybody miss me if I did? Would anybody go, oh man, he sold out. He just went and got paid. Oh, look at him. He's on a private jet. He don't talk to us no more. Oh, he's talking to us from a private jet. Would y'all be mad? I mean, I wouldn't give a shit, but and the water manifestation, there's plenty of ways to charge the water for sure. You do with sound things, and there's a general sense of loving towards it or whatever. Colorado to ground out. Matthew Nixon. Yeah, wherever. I mean, whatever draws you. You know, there's certain people need that masculine mountain energy. You know, if mountains are, as most people suspect these days, to be melted old buildings, they were energy of more masculine penis energy. Erections, they were erected buildings. So the energy of mountains is very masculine. You need that. Then you got the womany, watery, womby, next to the oceans and whatever. And you like still waters, still waters. Some people like lakes or ponds. Some people like oceans. Some people like big trees. You know. Some people like barren plains. I don't know. We gotta. There's obviously all sorts of ways to ground out, even in your local environment. But if you feel like you need to vacate just to scrub you from that whatever energy from your city. What city are you in? Because a city means either a person or a place that has power, energy. It's like a city. SIDDHI. What do I say? When I do it, I say, instead of saying DD, I do it like I'm speaking in Hindi or some shit. SIDDHI. Stupid. Yeah. So if you got a certain type of energy on you from a city, sometimes you gotta just see a different city for a second. It's no different than if you were seeing a guru, a city, somebody that can display certain types of powers and energy. That's what cities do. If you were like, all right, this is giving me certain kinds of energies and powers. Okay, let's go over and check this one out. Maybe you get you learn something new. Maybe you see a different energy system. I mean, that's what cities are. You know, CITY, right? It's a different set of energy systems. Some are mimicries of others. If you go to most mid to small cities, you're pretty much getting the same. It's taken an archetypical energy of some major city and then just replicated it all over the country. There's was it Tennessee Williams said there's New York, Chicago, and New Orleans, and everywhere else is Cleveland, Ohio. And he's not very wrong. I think he might have said maybe he said San Francisco, New York. I'm not sure. Whatever. But if you've ever been to all these other cities, it is a very much, if you just took a stamp and stamped it out, that's what you get. There's only a few that are different. Maybe like 12. I'd say there's probably 12 different cities in the United States. Probably like 12 of them, and then everything else is just a. Well, I've been there before. I know. I know that strip mall. You could put a blindfold on, and you could get to. You know where you're at. What's up, Yadaku? Are you up in Philly? All right. You up there? A good friend of mine. Up in Philly, yo. I do like Philly. Philly is. See, now I would say Philly is probably in a second tier of cities. It's not to the level of Cleveland and the lower levels, but Philly is going to be Baltimore, Philly, that kind of vibe, that kind of thing. It's a northeastern city, but it's very, very, very much modeled, very similar. Is Carson up in here? What the hell? I guess I'm not getting everybody's messages in here. So just so you know, I got Yadaku and Matthew Nixon. That's all I'm seeing. And I seen one thing Center Ed said, and Carson said something like 20 minutes ago. Oh yeah. So back to yeah, back to see the cities have to do with matrices. Haha, nice, Yadaku. Cities have to do with building matrices or matrices or whatever, however you want to call it. Whether it's in another lifetime, out of this body, or it's a continuation of this thing here, where like I just decide, hey, let me keep this spacesuit on and continue this journey, and age the way I feel like aging, either not at all, backwards, forwards. If I just start instructing the cells in my body to work in a certain way, do I continue this journey on in this spacesuit here and bug out on this realm? And if so, what kind of matrix, what kind of realm would I build? What kind of empire would I build? You need my robe collection? I only have a couple like bug out robes, and then I have like after shower robes. Don't really have any. I mean, then I got my tunics and stuff, but why am I mean, it could be the pink. It could, you know what? I think I know why. It's because I'm treating myself like a woman today. I'm wearing a silk robe, a pink headband. I'm drinking whiskey and I'm drinking vodka and eating chocolate chip cookies. That is, see my big ass chocolate chip cookie I just made? I feel like I'm feeling pretty. I haven't painted my nails yet, but maybe I'll do that. I might have to tweeze these eyebrows, get these all, hold on. Get those sharpened up here. It is silk. It is. Yeah, it's pretty fancy. See what it smells like. Anybody want to have a drink with me? Oh, I'm living like a white girl. Oh fuck yeah, I'm definitely living like a white girl right now. Yep. I just left I left my dishes in the sink. I'm like, fuck it. I'll get them later, Becky. I was like, fucking tell me what to do. I'm taking a day off. I'm drinking myself some Chardonnay and eating cookies. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna watch a movie too. It's my day. I don't care about anybody. Just gonna do this. I do not have Chardonnay. I've already finished. I had a box of Chardonnay and I had a really good time drinking. I really love drinking wine, but I've already finished that. So on to the vodka. Yeah, you want to write a film script? Sure. You gotta just every now and then, whenever I'm nice and lubricated doing one of these talks, just throw it in there. Ask me for some ideas. We'll talk it out. figure something out. A whole ass meme over here. Yeah, it is kind of funny. Be right back. Is that what you... Carson's like, I need a cookie. Cookie monstering it up, dude. Oh, sashimi, man. I've not had sushi in quite some time. I've just been, man. Financially, I've kind of been like, all right, if I'm gonna eat, I have to get enough food where I feel like I can eat for a couple days. And like sashimi, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna drop 30, 40 bucks, and I'm gonna eat one meal and I'll be satisfied. But I've been trying not to just throw money at snacks. The gods must be crazy. Hold on. Yadaku, you're telling me you don't know that movie? That is already a movie, right? Yeah, the sashimi gives you brain buzzing. Yeah, the gods must be crazy. That's a 1970s film. 78, 79? Yeah. There's a Zulu on my step. Oh, that's fun. That's funny you said that too. I don't know if you know this. That you know the Zulu tribe. They use like this building for their, like they have events and things, because there's some people who live here that are part of like the big part of Zulu, and so they take over and do barbecues and shit in the back all the time. They were just hanging out the other day. Zulu. Yeah, Carson, I'm with you on that. I've been mostly doing uh, maybe one small meal and mostly liquid because it's just too hot. Even if I want to eat, it's too hot. But today I've been lazy, so I got up and I ate. And if I do eat, I'm gonna get enough to go. Okay, I'm gonna be a fucking pig. I'm pig out for a couple days. Like I just ordered way too much, Domino's not garbage, and I'll deal with it. I'll sit inside and I'll get my Domino's depression on. Watch some flicks, drink this, and then get up tomorrow. Take a super giant healthy steaming dump, and start drinking juice and distilled water and start over again. Ah, Yadaku. Well, I mean, to us, it really isn't much more than a comedy. I mean, it's a comedy that is just steeped in like. Yadaku eating fish and shrimp. Yeah, I really enjoy. I've always enjoyed shrimps. That's my Jimmy Jammers. Fish has just been. I mean, everything's just been way expensive. So it's like, fuck. Everything is up like 40 to 50%. Yeah, Matthew Nixon, a docu series. I mean, like I've said before, I would consider if I had somebody to help me do it. It's just difficult to find somebody that would be like, because my time schedule is, I'm doing it when I'm motivated. I can't. There's no other way for me to do this. I can't do this right here unless I'm feel like inspired. And if I don't, I'm not doing it. It's pointless. I'm just sit there and not talk. I'm gonna sit there and go, yeah, today let's talk about this. If it's not inspiring me and motivating me, how can I inspire and motivate you? It would make no sense to even try. And so like, and doing the docuseries, I've done so many like of series on different things to teach people, but like to put up a green screen and have somebody edit it and shit. I mean, I'd be down. I where to start with it. That's all, like before. People have always like, oh, write a book. I'm like, do you fucking know how many times I've tried to write a book? Do you know how impossible it would be for me to write a book? It's super impossible. And I'm not trying to talk that into my reality. I've just tried, and that every time I start writing, I've gotten in 30, 40 pages, and I realize as soon as I get in that far, I'm learning new things all the time, and I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna have to add that. Like the book is already way too long to even. I don't even know where to begin. Like, oh no, just make it about this one thing. My mind doesn't work like that. Because every time I talk about something, there's always going to be a tangent into another. If I start talking about water, okay, I could write a pamphlet on that. But during that, I'm going to be like, okay, well, why is this important? Well, we can charge water using this, and water has an easy water extract, an easy zone in the water. And then you got to get, okay, well, then how do we charge that, and what's that have to do with it? And all of a sudden, we're talking about realm dynamics and electromagnetism and how water is inverted inside of your kidneys and you should drink your piss. I mean, I don't know how else to do it. uh, hey, Lucid Line, why don't I? Because after my channel got shut down a couple times, they don't let me. I've been removed from the capacity to earn money on this channel. They don't let me. I got copyright strikes due to nonsense, absolute nonsense, right? And so I had to. So after I had so many of them, they're like, nope, you can't earn no money somewhere. So if anybody wants to, I know how much easier it would be, and I know people would just hit the fucking button. I know this. But at the same time, if people really want to, you can take an extra step and go to look in my description box. Because it would work out in here, because I would do the same thing, and then I would just wait for you motherfuckers to super chat and, hey, pay me 99 cents for your question, dude. And that's great and all, but I just would rather say go to the description box, look up Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, and you can donate through that and say thank you. The asking me a question for like 99 cents or giving me a buck here or whatever, like I get how that works for everybody, and I get how I could prompt people to do that. I just find it kind of like cheapening of the date. Yadiku, you talking about the across the street, the sculpture garden? Yeah, I've never. I've written plenty of like little short stories in the past, but I just once I found my ability to talk through things, it became a lot easier. I don't have the patience to type. My mind works faster than I can type, and when I used to when I was younger, I would be searching for a word. I would try to go, okay, I need a thesaurus and all of this, and trying to say this, and now my mind is already at that place, and the only thing I really have to do is edit for spelling errors and commas and periods and shit like that. But it still doesn't work as fast as I need it to, like typing. Well, you could just edit it. You could just do it audio to book, I guess. I don't know. It could work. Yeah, but the adventure thing and that, like that kind of stuff, novels and adventure books, and I like that other people do it. For me, that's the fun part. I don't have the patience to be a great writer, so I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to attempt it. Why even test? Like, it's kind of like music. I like playing with my, my Korg and my Electribe, and because I can figure that out, and I can produce something that is really good enough for me, and good enough where if I did something, then I could probably do something with it. But from the stance of learning to play the guitar or something, shit, no. I don't even want to know a little bit. I've tried, but I'm just like, no, I'll leave that to everybody else, because then it's kind of like, it's like, if I know a card trick and how it's done, it's not as exciting to me. I'd rather just go, God damn, that's interesting. Or when I hear music, be so engulfed in it. Or when I read a story, to be so like, if I studied film harder or studied writing more, and like, okay, here's the storylines that we can use, and here's the plot things, and here's this, it would take away from the fun in the journey, right? Oh, what else? What else? What else? Oh yeah. So we're talking about realities and how many kids you got out there. I mean, I always joke about it, but I'm guessing zero. Uh, I don't. The only chicks that I've ever not not pulled out of, I know them very well, and it was very much well established what the ground rules were, and birth control, etc., etc. The rest, nah, pull out game solid. But hey, who knows? Could be a mix. Shit. I mean, I don't know how many chicks that maybe there were just dime a dozen little one night standees that were also fucking other dudes, and who knows what who knows, right? But I doubt it. I doubt it. And also, I don't want any. I don't think I ever would, for many reasons. One, I tried to explain this to somebody. I tried to explain this to a couple people. One chick couldn't understand it. And I've had older people that couldn't understand it. Oh, you're wildly intelligent. You're good looking. You need to pass your genes down. You need to educate these. Da, da, da. And I'm like, no, that's precisely why I won't. Because if I do, then all of the things that I do for everyone else, it vanishes. It goes away. I will not have the ability. I will so focus on the singular child that I would end up being I'd be more like obsessive parents. I'd be like helicopter you know. I got to make sure everything's done right for this kid. I obviously know he needs to bump into things and whatever, but also don't fuck with my kid. Like that kind. I don't want to be like that. And also I would never have the ability to help other people. I'd rather be everybody's weird uncle that, okay, because that way, you know, I'm a little bit removed from, if your kid bumps and bruises his head, oh, that sucks, and of course I got you. But like I don't want to, that empathy would be too much. So yeah, y'all can, unless the only way I am is if the world needs repopulating, I will have some of the strongest, only good seed left, probably. And something has to happen financially. I guess another reason I wouldn't want kids, because I couldn't financially afford them. It's literally, it's if I was if I was given you know, the platinum, whatever card, the black card, whatever the shit, the unlimited trust fund shit. You know how many children I would probably have? Ah, there'd be hundreds of them. They'd be everywhere. Financially, I'd be around every now and then. Mommy, take care of them. Hey, you want a baby? You want a baby? I'll be like Oprah. You want a baby? You got a baby. You want a baby? You got a baby. I just hand him how much you need. You know, not to spoil anybody, but yeah, I'd be spreading seed like NBA players do, without question. It would, there would be very few times that I'd ever even, and I wouldn't make mistakes and have relations with chicks that were less than me ever, never that, and so there'd be that. I would raise the bar of what I'd accept as standard practice, because if you got money, that's gonna change. That's gonna change the way people view you immediately. Or maybe I do have a lot of money, I just don't tell nobody, because I'd rather just like Eddie Murphy, go out and act like I'm not the prince of Zimbabwe or whatever. Like, maybe that's it. Matthew, you got one? Oh, you got a little boy? And you'd rather have a little girl? Man, that's crazy. I never heard nobody say that. That's, I mean, depending on where you live, but I couldn't imagine, like, that'd be too much, man. Be too much to raise. And again, I always take this into consideration of environment, monetary poverty kind of things, and you know, it'd be definitely easier. It's definitely easier to raise a boy in almost any environment, really. Hmm. Oh, he's 20s now. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Damn. All right. Well, then there you go. Then that little motherfucker's a big motherfucker then, huh? I mean, you got two varieties, right? You either, like, if you're a good dude, um, okay, if you were kind of a shit, do you really want a little girl to, like, grow up and have to deal with, like, fucks like you? That's got to be for a lot of dudes. Those dudes that are like, hey, don't fuck with my daughter. I'm like, oh, because you're an asshole. You assume everybody else is an asshole. You see guys like that all the time. And then you got, okay, if you were a little asshole and you have a boy, he gonna be a prick too, and that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. You want a little bastard kid that hates you, that doesn't, like, fuck you, dad, I wanna be like you, and he's exactly like you because you're a freak show. Yeah, you got that. You want the daddy's little girl thing. You want the. Well, that's possibilities there. It's a grab bag, and it depends on the mother issue too. If the mother's good, that changes things too. Got to play that in there. Carson, your first child will be a girl. A girdle. Well, a little girl. Are you actively trying, or are you just gonna see what happens? Or are you gonna wait? Are you gonna wait out until after the major apocalypse? Like, honestly, I couldn't imagine somebody bringing up a child in this climate right now. Not in this country. I don't know. I can't speak for everywhere else, but it seems like everywhere else is kind of fucking weird right now. I mean, with all the, all the kids wearing masks and antisocial, and it's got to be weird out there, man. Kids are like, not, everybody can say like, oh, you grew up in the '60s and then you grew up in the '80s. I don't understand these kids. I grew up in the '80s. They grew up in 2000. I don't understand these kids. Now there's a full on wild different thing with kids. Kids are really, they're gonna have a lot of they're gonna have a lot of psychological traumas that and these parents have no idea. And then you try to tell them, and you're like, dude, there's studies on this. Like, you can't be doing that. You're causing so much harm. So these kids are coming out real fucked up mentally. Like, we're developmentally disabling children at a wildly astounding rate. I mean, between all of the genetically modified foods, to all of the heavy metal stuff that we're sticking in things, to, I mean, we've really done a number to the human species, huh? I know you'll have twins, Carson. Matthew, you are a twin. Yeah, I think the future classrooms would be to use, maybe to teach adults, perhaps. For real. Um, yeah, that's crazy. All these twins here. I'm obviously a Gemini, so I'm kind of a twin, I guess. You got two of me sitting right here. Yeah, Carson, you said you're how old again? Didn't you say you're 32, 33? Am I just guessing at this? So you're waiting until like late 30s? Or are you late 20s? Yeah, I mean, they're going to be used for something. I mean, we're not going to make more factories. I mean, it's already a factory system, and most adults should be going back to school for some sort of education training. Most of it will have to be. I think most of it, if we really want to fix things, the first thing you need to teach is the adults about nutrition. Without that, everything else is worthless. What is of any value if you do not have health? Everything else is shit. I've had days where made some money. I was ready to go out and have a good time, or whatever, and wasn't feeling well. Had a little pain. Had this, that on my foot. I hurt my foot the other day. I can't walk so good. What the hell good is anything else? I can't even enjoy it. If you ain't got health, you can't enjoy anything. So until you can teach these people about health, and here's the thing too, getting a little deeper into that, if these parents and these peoples, right, if they're coming from the standpoint of not being healthy themselves, how can they even judge or adjust their consciousness to show or explain or tell a child what is healthy? Like, hey, look, I'm sitting here being the asshole that I am because I'm being funny and this is what I do. But like, eating a cookie and drinking some vodka. Okay, I'm being funny. But why can't I tell you about everything that is healthy? Because I know absolutely what is. Because despite this, I'm quite healthy. And I've been extremely healthy. So I know exactly what it's like to be very healthy and vibing high and eating literal plasma sunshine into my system and not needing any food. I know that. So I can speak on that. Where other people don't even know that exists. They have no clue at all. Some people have never been healthy. Never in their life. Not even close. Not mentally, not physically, not healthy. Nope. And we have people they start from a point of unhealth and then try to teach people about health. These people that went to school and they have their doctorate and they know all about the sciences and they know about medicine. And I wonder how many of them when's the last time they were without taking prescription drugs? When's the last time they were, happy in their lives? When's the last time they didn't deal with anxiety and depression and, all of that shit? How many of these people are healthy? Not too many. So how are they the ones out here teaching about health and well-being? And parents, so back to what Yadaku said, and we're kind of joking, but maybe not. If this world is going to be rebuilt in any effective way, obviously the kids will have to be fixed. But broken people make broken people. Broken people make broken people. So the last generation, if they're all broken, what are they going to produce? They're not going to produce something beautiful and bountiful. If somehow some of us grow through the cracks, and we know what that looks like and what it feels like and what it is, then we have to teach the last generation too. We got to teach in both directions. I got to teach the 60-year-old how to fast and do this and that, and like just to get on their feet, just to be able to move properly. And then you got to, before this kid gets all fucked up in the mix, before they become, addicted to whatever and eating all wrong, you got to teach them early. So you got to teach in both directions. Oh, nice, Carson. You wouldn't want. Yeah, I'm assuming this place gets fixed. I think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, cool. I hear you, but I don't. It doesn't seem like a. It doesn't seem like a viable thing. Like I don't have anything to start with. I don't have any way of getting there. I don't have all those things to relocate. I don't have the finances. I don't have any of that, and I don't know anyone. So like the starting point, as much as I could go, oh, I'd like to travel the world. Okay, but even now that seems kind of ridiculous. It seems like more trouble than it's worth. But like to just find a new country where I don't speak the language and then I don't even know the politics. I don't know I don't know none of that shit. That seems a little kind of goofy. I think the U.S. will be building new cities. I think they'll just end up destroying the places here that are worthless, and rebuilding. That's the only thing I can see happening. Yeah, Matthew, for real. Yeah, the broken people called the founding fathers. I was unaware. Is there olive trees? I don't know. I don't know if there's olive trees around here. Maybe. Carson, good luck with that. The dilemma with that, Carson, is manyfold. Well, first of all, they do it anyways, but they're doing it out of necessity. They think they need to eat, and you're running into too many problems there. You're not escaping the rampant drug use. You're not doing that. You're they're not they get no they have none of the creature comforts to give them that day of, okay, let me just relax, let me do this. They don't have that. They're outside. They're everything they're surrounded with everything that is in the way of fasting. I mean, the fact that they don't have anything makes them it's easy for them. But I know people that have, because of being homeless, they don't eat for a day or two, and then you give them food and it's like blah 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 blah. That's tough. Mm. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, cool. Carson, start feeding yourself some breast milk, boy. I'm gonna start feeding myself some cranberry juice. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta Gotta go grab some ice. Uno momento. All right. Uh-huh. Okay. Sorry about that. You're in fast. You're in luck. Yeah, I was gonna start a long time ago. You know, just a channel devoted to urine therapy. You know, but so many people already have that. You know, on the Instagrams and on here, and there's only so much you can. There's only so much I could talk about. There's only so many posts you can make. You know, and it's already. I feel like it's already been done. If you want to go to a UT channel, and it's like when you go to the channels, it's either people that are know already and they're just looking for inspiration or motivation. I know, like, at times whenever I want to do like a urine fast, or start doing coffee enemas or whatever, I'll just start watching videos. Granted, do I already know everything about both of these things? Probably, but it's like a remotivation. It's not going to convince anyone, and so that's the difficult thing. No one's coming like, oh, for real? You mean that if I use urine, it will help me this? No, people come to your channel and be like, oh, it's fucking pee-pee. It's no good for you. It's disgusting. Oh. And you're like, shut up. Shut your face. Shut your stupid mouth. Well, I could probably use a little more cranberry in there. I think I overpoured that vodka. Ha. Waka waka vodka. In your book, urine is meant to be released into the Icelandic Ocean. Yeah. It would be it would be I said, you know, back in the day, it was treated as more of a medicinal thing, but because we have as humanity erred on the side of so many stupid, disgusting, filthy things that medicine needs to be in pretty much every meal of our everyday diet, whatever we're consuming. So I don't like the easiest, quickest way to any degree of health is without question to consume urine. I was reading something the other day. It was saying something like 80% of all medicine has some constituent of what you find in urine in it. Basically just saying, like, it already has your medicine in it. Like but it's the living organic variety. It's already plasma, it's already clean. And yeah. You won't touch your urine? You leave your urine up to the whales. Matthew Nixon. The real fountain of youth? It's piss. It's plasma. It's 100% urine. The fountain of youth is urine. They show you. Go look at those fountains. There's a baby, there's a little kid standing in the fountain with his little wee out, and he pisses into the fountain and it gets recycled. Well, why go watch those movies? You ever watch those movies where somebody gets younger or trades places with somebody? It's usually when they're both standing in the fountain, pissing into it together, and then all of a sudden they change bodies or get younger or whatever. The whole searching for it was already inside of you. It's definitely piss. It's not even a question in my mind what it is. Yeah. I mean, it should have only been used as medicine. It should have been our diet should have consisted of healthy, clean things. We should have been occasionally eating the blood of animals in cold climates, but majority of us should have been eating freshwater fish, fruits, some vegetation, drinking beers, eating milks, clean milks, unpasteurized ferments. That should have been our diet. It so happens it turned into a lot of things that shouldn't have been. You know, fried foods and monosodium, gamma hydroxy, blah, 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 this and that. And we've destroyed our temple. And to clean the temple properly, our body, you need to put medicine into it. You need to put a cleaner into it. And the highest level of cleansative medicine is without question urine. There's anyone that's ever drank this for any period of time will tell you without question what it does. Some people get a little overzealous with it, but they're already started from the point of they were probably trying to fix a major issue in their life, like drug use or something like that. But most people are just like trying to find, hey, here's a new little path into health and well-being. Let me see what this is about. This must be something to it. And then you do, and it changes the game. Like, I haven't drank that much piss lately, but, you know, as soon as I do, everything about the way I am energetically will change. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, outside of that, I would say maybe, like, I mean, it's plasma, right? Plasma is cleansative. Plasma is our reality. Outside of saying re-ingesting your piss, I mean, magnetics, like whatever magnetics do, there's all sorts of things within our, you know, our outer realm, but even that is outside of you. So if we just stick with what's inside of you, you know, I mean, our mindset is going to be, you know, that's the fountain. You've got a fountain in your mind. Your brain is bringing rain into your system. There's a fountain going on. You know, but in every way, I've only heard a couple people ever say it didn't really help them or detract from them. I only heard a couple people say that. I never heard anybody say it detracted though. You leave your urine up to the whales. I mean, I think of it in the sense of what would be the cleanest water, and as I kind of consider what distilled water is, it has a huge amount of benefits. I say, strictly speaking, you should be drinking distilled water. And that is because everyone else is already eating and you're already filthy. So the fact that distilled water is going to be removing things from you is just fine and dandy. As far as we're getting into like the softness of water, the energetic charge of water, the living essence of waters, I would drink juice from fruit. That would be, you know, number one source of water would be fruit juice, coconut juice, but I don't live where there's, I mean, I live where there's coconuts. You don't live where there's coconuts. I would drink coconuts, you know. So I would say coconut coconut water, uh, juice from fruits, and urine are the three highest forms. And then wherever you're getting rainwater, distilled water. But then if you're super healthy, moving waters moving waters through the rocks and then lakes, like getting into different, you have to get into different studies from Victor Schauberger down to, you know what I mean, like all of the water researchers. Some of them are going to tell you that spring water is the way to go. Others will tell you that moving water from streams is the way to go. And then you got people that are like distilled water is the only way to go. Matthew Nixon, yeah. Distilled water is the cleanest. There's nothing in it. It doesn't remove anything bad. It doesn't remove anything good from you, but because people are toxic to begin with, it's the best thing to consume. Other waters would be, say, more energetically charged. Yeah, watermelon is great for your melon, your head. Should have between 93 and 97% of water, just like your brain should be 93% water. Matthew Nixon, alcohol is the only way to go. I mean, speaking for myself, I think beer is another thing. Beer is another substance that you should be drinking. I mean, if we really look into it, we look into farmhouse ales and all of these places that had dirty water. Here's the funny thing: you can't make beer with distilled water. It won't work. It needs to have dirt and filth in it, basically. That's the funny thing is it's like, I'll just get distilled water. Like, no, you can't use that. You need to has to have, that's how you got to start it. So yeah. Anyways, so water used to be so dirty in these places, they didn't drink water. There's many places, farmhouses all over the world, that did not drink. Beer saved the world. There's a couple books on it, and because they would turn their water that was dirty into beer that was fermented, cleaned out all the bacteria, and became a very low alcohol ABV, like 2 to 4%. And they would drink that and work on the farm. That was their water. And I would say that's up there in health. And I mean, for my money, I like vodka. As far as cleansative value, Colin is correct. A life without beer is no life at all. Yeah, man. I'm a wino. I'm a wino, man. I love wine, but it's also because it's so delicious to me, and it's a higher ABV. I'm gonna get way too drunk on it way too quick. I can't be having a whole day. It's too hot. I like a beer. I like a low ABV beer to drink all day. A little kombucha keeps you super clean, huh? Yeah, Colin. That's the life without beer. The whole thing, like when people are like, "Oh, I don't drink. I don't do." Like, what are you doing then? What do you like? If you really, truly are enjoying and adoring your high intensity life of, crossfitting and staying sober, and you really are honest, and you're telling me you don't drink coffee and you're not taking any uppers and you're not doing drugs in another direction because you like that direction. If you're just telling me you really are sober and you enjoy it, good for you. But if you try to say you're sober because you don't drink alcohol, but I see you drinking coffee and I see you drinking all of these other things, and you got these pills that you're popping and these uppers and these and that, I don't. Then that's not a. Then the equation is you've nullified the equation. Then you're not sober. It's the same thing. You just like uppers. I don't like uppers. What's up? What's up, Danny? Matthew, about to go get some liquor? Oh, you got the Mick Light? Kind of like eat bacon. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit, the bacon thing is kind of a little crazy to me, because I've been you guys should check this out. It might be a little disturbing to some of you, but if you're not a little disturbed, I don't know, you should be. It's by Mind Unveiled. Okay, you got Conspiracies Are Us. I put you onto him, and Mind Unveiled. Go to Mind Unveiled, and pigs are human. He makes a pretty good case, getting into all of these different species that used to be around. They're told in books that then they're like, no, this is what people used to look like. Getting into like, essentially, so he doesn't clarify on how this occurred. He suggests towards a couple things. Some of it seems like it could be spell work, spell casting, and other of it could have been, DNA splicing and ancient scientists. Any way you look at it, there's some really interesting shit about humans being pigs, especially when a lot of stories talk about, big pigs that like the fat guys getting all the money and the foods right, and like this, and like there's too many. There's a lot of literature and stories and things that kind of lead into a pretty interesting. He makes a pretty interesting claim that pigs might be human, which makes you then go wonder why is it in so many cultures and religions they say don't eat pig, because it's basically cannibalism. Now I would take it one step farther and say you shouldn't eat any animal, because any animal would be in a sense cannibalism. But at the same time, I don't really give a fuck. Eat what you want. Like you're not gonna get through this life unscathed or without doing harm to something. Don't go out of your way to butcher animals, but I don't think you're gonna get through life without doing it. If you want to, like I said before, Colin, I would, if I could, if I could afford to eat what I wanted, I probably would eat meat only once a month. And I would eat the most delicious vegetarian diet on the planet every day. I would eat all of the great places that are vegetarian, and there's plenty. Except for to go to those places, they're expensive. I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to eat exactly what I wanted. If I go to all the really nice Indian restaurants, and I go to all the really nice, baba ganoush places, and all of the shawarma joint, all these places that serve the best, it's the vegetarian food is going to be just as expensive, if not more expensive, than the meat plates, right? I mean, and I've eaten enough of this city's fine cuisine. I would definitely go. I would go vegetarian. It would be super delicious. I could never do the vegetarian thing. Like when I was vegetarian for, I guess, I don't know, about 7-8 years. I had enough money and enough ways to consume exactly what I wanted, and it was great. I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem for 8 years not eating meat at all. Didn't have a problem with my weight, with my health, with anything. It was fine. But yeah, I don't think I would ever eat bacon again. I would definitely eat some prime rib though. Yeah, Yadiku Mind Unveiled is really good. Yeah, the demons in the maritime waters. And all you, what do you call those chicks with the fins in there? Yeah, kind of pigs have the same stomachs. There's many of the same qualities that they have as us. Yeah, for sure. Oh, you don't see the human eyes in modern pigs? I haven't looked at a pig recently, so I don't know. I'd have to make eye contact. But then again, there's also, if you say something's human, have you ever looked at a human and their eyes are empty? Or have you ever looked at somebody and go, that's not a real person? There's something missing there. I suppose you could be looking at a clone. Pigs could be clones. In that case, are they really human then? Are they really even pigs? You know, there's certain animals that there's nothing there in their eyes. There's certain humans there's nothing there. They call humans long pork. I've never heard that before. That's hilarious. Matthew Nixon. He got the long pork for sure. I don't. Ew. Jackfruit. I've never done the jackfruit meat substitute thing. The baba ganoushis. Oh yeah, Colin. Oh, certain. I mean, I just ate chicken carbonara for dinner yesterday. So that's like chicken, bacon, mushroom. Homemade lasagnas. I haven't had lasagna in a while. You know, like land animals or birds. Yeah, it's too heavy for me. Most land animals are. I'd much rather have fish. Oh, Danny out there mowing lawns. One foot, the one-footed mermaid. 1 foot, two tails. A chick with one leg, hopping around. You said 4 hours. You got damn. You got that big of it. That's right. You have a big ass property. Yeah, the on a lawnmower. I don't know. I did. I think the longest I ever did was like a yard for like 2 hours, and that was. Hey, I liked driving a lawnmower to do, half acre. That was fun, but then after that, it's kind of like, all right, enough of this. Eat that Soylent Green, boy. I never seen the movie, but I get the concept. Are you upset about the chicken carbonara joke? Well, the joke was I got it from Domino's. It was okay. I was very disappointed in my Domino's order today. Like I'd got a chicken bacon ranch the other day. Yeah, I've been on a Domino's kick because it's cheap, and that was really really good. And then yesterday I got I know it's stupid, but I got the Philly cheesesteak, and it was so salty. I couldn't even finish it. It's trash. But then mushroom pizza was a well deserved, delicious, wonderful. I think Domino's is up there in mushroom pizza for me. Ha 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 ha, Matthew. The guy mowing the lawn is Danny's riding lawnmower. Divine. Oh, you like doing all the patterns in it? Oh, I don't like the smell anymore. I don't mind it, but I don't like anything about mowing the grass. Mowing the grass sucks. Mm. Well, man, this is fun. Putting a big dent in today. See, today the day did fly by. Couple videos with you guys. I'm fucking chillaxing. Cook a cookie and some vodka for dinner. Feel like a new man. It's a meditation. Yeah, I'm good with anything over like a good 15 minutes to a half hour is plenty enough for a meditation for me. After that, it's just called a nap. Your cousin said salt is the second ingredient in that sandwich, and a third is another type of salt. Yeah, I could believe it. It was a salt steak. It was really really disgusting. I was like, y'all just really could have left off any. You could have the grease, the salt, something. I don't. Maybe it was just the cheese that was extra salty too. I don't know. Meditation is going to the beach. Yeah. When I lived at the beach, being at the beach was a quality meditation. You know, the waves rolling in and rolling out. That was always. I like that because I lived on both times I lived at the beach. I lived somewhere there was a sound side and the ocean side that I could get to both, and that was always nice. So at night, you know, whenever I want the calmness, sound side would be completely. You go out there in the morning, or at night, and there's not even nothing moving. You can see the moon. That was cool as anything. And then you go down to the beach, and it's just. Yeah, I never been to any Cali beaches. I've only been to the East Coast and the Gulf beaches. I didn't mind the Gulf beaches at all. In fact, I liked the Gulf beach where I lived because the sand, even despite it being 95 degrees, the sand was cool. There was no burning your feet on that shit. You didn't have to put the sandals on or nothing. That was the best part. I didn't the other beaches where there's not that fancy sand, no fancy sand. Carson, you're getting milk and cookies right now. Did I inspire you to get milk and cookies? I got cookies and vodka. Yeah, I got a beach north of here. It's on Lake Pontchartrain. So it's not I don't know if you could technically call it a beach. It's beach-esque, I suppose. We used to have oh man, we used to have a theme park here before Katrina. And if you guys have never seen it, look up look up pictures of the theme park post Katrina. They just left it there. They just left it there to die. It's pretty crazy. Katrina came, destroyed the place. They didn't even bother cleaning it up. They just left it. It was like, I don't know, Kings Island or one of those shits. It was like one of the big ones. I forget which one it was. But now it's all like, it's really interesting because people have gone in there and taken pictures, and it's pretty much, off limits now because, then people were getting in there. There was like crackheads and shit trying to live there. Haha, Divine, maybe you have some oceanfront property soon. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it would be interesting here because we're already underwater. Like, there's enough in New Orleans is already underwater. I don't think the sea level's gonna rise that much, not anytime soon. I mean, if they do melt some of the ice wall, and because obviously they haven't been forthright about how big Antarctica is, and exactly how tall the ice wall is, etc., etc. And neither do we know how much ice is left in Greenland or in the middle of the realm. But if how much would that cause sea level to rise? I'm going to remind people of this one thing. Let's address something here, so you understand how water works. Everyone says the ice is sitting up here, above the water line. Therefore, if it melts, it's going to make more water. Here's what you're not paying attention to. That ice that is now, as it's above the water, it is expanded. And it's also below the water and has expanded. So the water that's above the water, the ice that is now above the water and in the water, that is expanded, has taken up more space in the water. So when it melts, it's going to go back into that area beneath the water. It's not going to raise sea levels. The amount of ice that you'd have to throw back into the mix to raise sea level, I don't know how much it would have to be. It would have to be a shit ton. It's not just what you think. If there is already blocks and blocks of ice that are sitting there that are frozen as ice water that has displaced the water enough to make the sea level already rise because it's displaced that much water. So that water that now went out here, that became ice, the ice expanded and went up. It's taking up, as it melts, it will take up the same amount of water as if it was at sea level. It's not going to raise sea level. And then you say that to somebody and they go, oh, huh? But that's just legitimately how it works. Now, granted, how much snow and ice and things are built up in Antarctica above that level, and how much of that would have to chunk off and go into the sea? How many miles of that? Because how tall is the ice wall? How much of that would we have to get rid of? It would have to be a lot. They already did the math all wrong on purpose to tell you that sea levels are going to rise. They lied, or they didn't take something into the equation on purpose, or they had no idea, for whatever crazy reason, the anomalies of water. What's up, Rory Reef? You're reading Confederacy of the Dunces? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that's your boy from New Orleans, man. He what is his name? Kennedy. Like, committed suicide. Then after he did, his mother basically took his book and got it published, and then he became famous. He was like, committed suicide because nobody wanted his writings. What a weird way, huh? I mean, Robert O. Kennedy, Toole O. Kennedy, whatever the hell. I've never read the whole thing. I get the characters, and I get it's from down here. Hey Matt, where you want to get an Airbnb and go to? Pacific Ocean is like bathwater compared to the East Coast. Oh, definitely. Well, right now, I don't know if you've seen, I posted on my Instagram last week, the surface water temperature was for the Gulf in some parts was 95 degrees, which is no good for the sea life. And I mean, while it's been maybe that temperature before, not in early June, not in mid-June. Bath water. Yeah, my pool right now it's actually colder to get out of the pool than it is to be in it. Yeah, it's an impressive book. I don't see. That's one of the ones that I want to listen to on audio. There's so many books. Like I don't like to get into books that thick. Um, because I just know I'm not gonna. I know I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I just don't have patience for books like that anymore. So if I find on audio, then I can get into it. It's funny. I can find almost every Tom Robbins book on audio, except for my favorite book that I want to hear, which is Jitterbug Perfume. I can't find it. I found a couple people that read a few chapters on YouTube, and I cannot find the whole thing anywhere. Which is like, how did you do that, dude? How did you? Your most probably his most famous book by one of the most authors ever, another New Orleans writer. Got Robert was Confederates and Dunces. Yeah, Jitterbug Perfume by your boy, Tom. What's his name? Tom. Oh man, sometimes I have so many different names going through my head at once. Tom Robbins. There we go. It's another one of my favorite books. Well, Matthew Nixon, come down to New Orleans. It's always wonderful weather here. Got all the good things, all the parks, all the golf courses, all the drunks, all the good food, all the music. Yeah, man. Mississippi, everything. We got everything down here. The Prophet by Jabril, whatever his name is. Matthew, what you mean? Maybe you'll read it? Like maybe you'll read it and record it? And Danny, you're reading Orion's Door? You don't sleep at all, do you? Like what do you sleep, like 2 hours a night? Get up, read, act crazy, take a half-hour nap. Yeah, man, Rory, I've not. Yeah, it's a book that I have sitting right there, and it just there's some books that I have so many that I pick up and I dig into. I like something about as big as my thumb, and I like something I can dig into, get to a chapter, maybe put it down, or even something I can. I like other books that I can just open up to the middle of. Like, what do I got here? Like I got the Don Wantari, which is a Ayurvedic book. I got the Little Book of Zen. I got Plant Intelligence in the Imaginal Realm, which is totally awesome. That's a book that you can just turn to any page and, like, seriously, one page of it, and you'll be digesting it for the next, 25 minutes. Tom Robbins lives in Washington. He lives in Washington now. He's from here. That's like that was his. I mean, at least the book is. He's not. I thought he was from here. I mean, the books is about here. I thought at least he lived here for some part of his life. Yeah, 2 maybe 4 hours. Yeah, like I wasn't getting very good sleep for a couple days. And last night I was like, I gotta eat. This is the whole thing. Like I was getting 2 hours here and there. I would get like an hour to 2 hours, and then I would wake up, and then I'd have to go back to bed, kind of thing. And I just wanted to get a solid night's sleep, so I was like, I gotta just ground out, eat, and drink. So I was like, fuck it, I'm eating all the stuff. So I ate all the heavy breads and cheese and bullshit, and drank a bunch, and woke up, and I was like, I got to sleep. I got up a little late, but I and I felt a little, I was a little, I wasn't fresh I wasn't fresh and bouncing around off the walls, but I did get to sleep. That was nice. You like getting read to like a baby? Yeah, I like getting read to. I think if someone was like here reading to me, I probably wouldn't last. I would be like a baby. I'd probably fall asleep, especially if they have a nice voice. Then I'm gonna fall asleep very quickly. But like audiobooks, I like because I don't have to do anything. I can imagine the shit rather than I'm trying to read it and imagine at the same time. Like fuck you, imagination. Stop doing the words to the image thing. Just what is it? If I'm listening to it, I don't got. There's no processing there. Hey Danny, it's funny how what you have written has come to life. Well, what the fuck are you doing, Danny? Why don't you go ahead and write me something good in the book? Write me in a bunch of money and some bad bitches. I don't know. Write something good for yourself. What the hell are you doing? Speaking of, the new season of Westworld just came out, and there is a part in it. First episode just came out, and this guy is basically saying to one of the characters, like, you need to change the story. You need to change what you're writing. You need to change the story. And it was basically saying that because the way it was kind of like that. Remember that movie book? Do you remember that movie from that book? Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, where he starts writing and then it starts happening. Yeah, I mean that goes into spelling and spellcasting, and you can make it easier. So that would be kind of closer to like a grimoire, but you could do it a lot easier with sigils and things. Yeah. So what the hell are you doing, Danny? Why don't you do me a favor? Write me in some money or something, dude. You love cooking, yet eating is a different story. Yeah, I don't. I always love cooking. I don't have anybody to cook for, so I don't cook. I don't want to cook for myself. There's too much of a process, and I want somebody else to enjoy it with me. But I don't have anybody to enjoy my cooking. So I'll just sit around and eat fucking microwavable pancakes. Matthew, you want to get married once before you die? Danny, well, you're talking to me. Where the hell is it? Where's my fucking millions? Where's it at? Where's my briefcase? Where's my money at? That would, if you make that happen, then I'd have no problem just going that way. I can just go buy the extra land, and that way I would have my farm that I don't necessarily need to live at, and then I would give everyone that I know a spot to be and get this farm shit going, and I can still maintain my quality of life here and spend like 50-50 in the country and here, and then give people an opportunity to like fucking come and bug out in the city if they're tired of being in the country. That's what I need. That's what I need. Yeah, Devon, you love you so that you cook. I mean, shit, I would. It's not really. I certainly enjoy cooking, and I will cook for myself now and then. But it's like it's too much of a process, and because I don't eat that often, I'd rather just do hand to mouth kind of shit. And if someone wants to hang out, I'll cook for them. I'm more than happy to. Being married is overrated. I've never been, but I'm assuming it would be. Being single is the best thing. Yeah, I want to be like semi-single, you know? That kind of thing. Wait, hey Danny, what are you saying is in the air? But my it better be my paycheck is in there. Just cash or Venmo. If you guys want to. Apparently Danny said my money's on my way. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Feel free. Put it in there. I gotta. Yeah, I watched a really interesting video on marriage a couple days ago. It's things I sort of knew, but he really broke it down really quite nicely. Just talking about the marriage contract is between three parties, not two, and it's a contract and it's a legal binding between two entities and the state, and it's a business transaction that's held in basically nothing different than a court. So it's not it's not what you think it is. Yeah, I would get together with someone, perhaps. I would never get married. No, no, no. That's I don't do business with the state like that. Smoking the green. Smoking the green. Yeah, boy. That would be what I would do. I would eat. I'd microdose some mushrooms, smoke some green, and you know what? I would probably. I think I would build. The first part of the property I'd build would be the kitchen. I mean, that's what you got to build first, anyways. It has to go in the middle of the house. And I would build that part, and then just do like fucking start cooking out first as I'm building the rest of it. People come over, help me build. Let's have a paint party. I'll come over, feast, hang out, fucking put up some walls, and I'll feed you dumbasses. Yeah, I know, Matt. I know. Yeah. Hey, Matt. Good luck with that. Danny's a tough cookie to crack to get that done. Well, the prophet's an idiot. Um, Datura and psychedelics like ayahuasca. What's up, brutality? I mean, of course, they're changing the capacity for people to alter their mind states, thereby changing their genetic coding. So yeah, I mean, if you're rewiring your brain, if you're rewiring a computer, if rewiring the coding to how to set up a reality. drugs are poisons. But yeah, it does. Yeah, certain drugs are definitely making people lack depth of character. Let me open this. See if I have any light going on here. Yeah. Up a little bit. Yeah, it takes away aspects of people. Sometimes if you're using a correct plant life analog to whatever the substance is, instead of getting the pill, you get the actual plant medicine. Some people need medicine, right? But they're taking the artificial version, and it's erasing way more than it should in someone's character, right? But some people just need to calm the fuck down, so you can give them, like, okay, you don't want to give them fentanyl, you don't want to give them heroin, but if you gave them some poppy tea, that might be very helpful. You don't want somebody that is always lazy. You don't want to give them cocaine, but if you got the cocoa leaf and have them chew on that, there's ways of circumnavigating what we look at as drugs and just use the actual plant life. Danny, are you talking English again? Interesting. Brutality. So you went straight to meat only. Interesting. I've had some interesting, like, I did some mushies the other day when I was hanging out with trees, and that was awesome. And I had a really crazy dream. I'll give you the shortened version. But I'm laying on my bed, and I know I'm in a dream. I'm walking around, and I keep picking up, like, just like stacks and stacks of money, and putting it into a friend of mine's bag. Just putting it in their bag. And as I'm doing this, it's building up all this energy, apparently, in the sky, and it turns into all these lightning bolts. It turns into this big blue lightning thing, and it hits this tree, and I could hear it in the dream. As I know I'm laying here, I see it hit the tree, split the tree in half, and start the tree on fire. Split the tree in half, and just smoldering and sitting there. And I could see and hear the sky. And as it does this, it puts all this pressure on my head, and I could feel my pineal gland just start leaking, and it felt like liquid was coming out of my ears. It was the craziest thing. And then I'm scrolling through Instagram today, and I'm not shitting you. Whoever's on my Instagram, you check it out. I sent it to one of the group chats, and I'm not kidding you. Today, this dude that I follow posts a picture of, I'm not kidding you, a bright blue sky, a lightning bolt hitting a tree and splitting it in half. And I was like, I dreamt that exactly 3 days ago. It was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, dude. Ban these shamans giving you drugs. Brutality. Yeah, some of them don't know what they're doing, honestly. Some of them, because they had a trip, they think that they know something. Like, no, you don't. Like, unless you can walk in those waters, or like very like, there's only a few things that you can take people on trips of, you know, and you have to be pretty well versed in it. And whatever substance you're, if it's a substance you know very well, go for it. But don't act like you could just hand somebody some fucking heavy duty psychedelic and think that's a good idea. It's not. There's plenty of good things you can microdose and you can handle by yourself, and there's plenty of things that if you have someone knows the substance, go for it. But you should never do heavy, big, heroic doses with people that want to be shamans. Yeah, blood type can affect that, definitely. Yeah, I got it. Brutality. Maybe I can find the videos. They should still be on my channel somewhere. In the early videos of mine, I got into blood types, and they should still be out. Blood types and golden blood and antigens, antibodies, and how I think it's pretty obvious that we can change blood types by ingesting certain antibodies, antigens, et cetera, to get our body to, because that's really all it is your different blood types are different types of, antigen, antibody cohabitations. So if you're a certain type, you have these ones. If you're another type, you have these ones. It's why what type O is a universal donor, because it has more of the um, antigens in the blood, and some are like, if you have cleaner blood, you have what's called null blood. I don't want to do the whole thing here, but yeah, I have a couple on that. Yeah, Matthew Maxwell, I hear you on the eating with good intentions. I think that's the best route for most people. Getting too specific, if you know something doesn't work, don't eat it. If it's really not working with you, if chicken makes you feel bad, don't eat it. If cabbage is no good for you, don't eat it. There's way too many people. I've seen too many posts. Now we've got it to the point where now there's actually infighting amongst vegetarians. The vegans fucked it all up. I'll just put that out there. But now even vegetarians got it fucked up, because then you got the alkaline assholes, then you got the raw foodist shitheads, and then you got the they won't even eat things that are fermented. Then you got people that are like, don't eat anything that's growing as foliage. Don't eat lettuce and this. And then you got other people that, well, don't eat tomatoes. Then you got this other asshole that says don't eat pineapples. Then you got this guy who is supposedly he's the best of all guys, and he says don't eat coconuts and don't drink coconut water, but eat tomatoes. I don't. Who's talking right now? All of you, shut the fuck up. There's things that are gonna work well with you and things that won't, and there's things that you've consumed that were genetically modified. There's things that, if it's a fruit, if it's bearing a seed and it's making a fruit, you're probably good to consume it. The more the local it is, eat it. Divine, if you didn't have a brain before drugs, you won't be any smarter after. Maybe. I don't know. I think it can open up. I think it can open up pathways for people to understand things. Yes, there are certain drugs that people should not take. Like, stupid people should not do certain drugs. The other ones, they should take small amounts to, There's people that are dense, people that are not smart. They're too scientifically brained. I wouldn't call them smart, but I know people that have taken certain substances and came out better on the other side. I also know stupid people who just became, they did everything recreationally. They just became piles of mush. Brutality. Plant life is AI. I suppose. Humans are AI. I don't know. Rory, if you want to keep parasites at bay, uh, lots and lots of ferments, fermented foods, probiotics, prebiotics, ferments, and make sure you get a lot of, say, like plant oil, okay, like oregano oil, cilantro, things that bitter elements. You want bitter elements in your diet. Those things will all help. But pumpkin seeds, these things will help. Underground foods not so good. Ah, I've explained that fully, but I just touching on it. If they're tubers, you got to cook them. Whether it's the root of the tree or the fruit of the tree, it's all good. You just got to know how to prepare them. Beets are good for liver. I've never heard of beet. I've heard of beet roots for liver. Beets are good for the heartbeat and for blood cleansing. So I think they're kidney. Beets themselves, I think, are kidney and heart food. The roots, the beet roots, I could see being good for the liver. Hmm. Yeah, the turpentine and DE is good for that. Chlorophyll, lemon, and mint. You'll be all right with a little bit of piss, dude. Yeah, Orin. That was the Orin's belt, Orion's belt. Hearts. Beets are some of my favorite food, man. Boiled, pickled, however, man. Beets are so delicious to me. I really crave and adore pickled beets. Most of your ailments go away. Interesting. Yeah, I'll get into that another time on why I think that happens for some people. Some of it I definitely think has to do with what's in, like, I'll give you the simple breakdown. Some things, when you're going through cleansing things, if you start eating um, herbs that are cleansative and fruits and things, there's going to be a detox that happens in the body, and that detox people will call the Herxheimer effect. You're not going to feel good. And people are like, well, you're supposed to feel good if fruits and vegetables are so good. It's like, no, your body is just holding on to a bunch of junk and it's trying to get rid of it. So people associate not feeling good with the first few days of fasting, with juicing, with all sorts of cleansative herbs, and they associate that. If you associated getting diarrhea with it being unhealthy, then you have no idea what that laxative type element is doing. You have no idea. That's cleaning you out. That's literally getting to clean out your intestines. That's one of the cleansatives. It's not going to feel good. And you'd be like, oh, that's caused me to have the shits. Well, maybe you needed to have the shits. Where if you continue to consume something that is like think of it this way. People that quit smoking, it's hard for them. They won't like it. It doesn't feel good. It's like they're coming off of heroin or whatever. Well, is it healthier for them not to, or is it healthier for them to continue? So in the same way, there's a lot of things that you'll find in meat, in the blood and everything else that is, it fulfills and quells an addiction. So that's the easiest way of saying it. You're quelling an addiction so you'll feel better, and ailments which, you know, you get flare-ups of this and that, and your body trying to get rid of something, and I think that's what people are associating. Well, I've never felt better. I tried doing this, but the thing is, most people, it'd be a very long questionnaire to really get to a quality scientific study on someone's diet and why and how things are occurring. I would have to know what you ate for the past 20 years, what you ate in the last 24 hours, what your diet is normally like, and then you're gonna have to go through so many other things of, like, you know, what kind of disease do you have, all of that shit, and then certain plants are gonna have cleansative effects. So a lot of times I see it that way. You know, and again, this is coming from somebody, I do eat meat, I eat whatever the fuck I want, but yeah, I think that just needs to be understood in when people go, oh, I feel better eating meat. I'm like, I'm not sure if you understand why. Fruit and meat is best. I'd agree. Again, it's all based on where you live. If you're living in a colder climate, then probably meat and ferments. If you're living somewhere that you can get both meat and fruit, that's probably the good diet. Pickled beans. Pickled dilly. Oh, pickled dilly. Yeah, that's right, brutality. Yeah, I think you know, it's your local environment will show you well more what you should be consuming than anything else. It's terrain theory. It's all that shit. It's like whatever is around you. So check it out, y'all. I would love to kick it with you guys a little bit more, but I have to take a shit. It's been fun. I did 3 hours. I'm on here for 2 hours. I'm probably just gonna continue to drink this bottle and come back and see you in a little bit. Let me go shit, shower, and shave, that kind of thing, and maybe I'll see you guys in like half an hour, or maybe have a movie night or something. Who knows? Shoot the shit. But as always, if you guys want to, CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, it's in the description box. It helps me out. It'll help me get through this hurricane season, because I think there's going to be some power outages and some extreme weather pretty soon. And as per usual, take care of yourself. Do good things. This is your journey. Enjoy it. And when you have more than enough, feel free to help your friends out. If that happens to be me, that would be great. And no matter what, be goofy, be weird. Enjoy all that. Good to see everybody. And we will trap. We'll trap soon. We'll see each other soon. And I'm out of here. Peace out, everybody.